Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo. 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 Good morning. My name is Sensei Robert Gubenco, and I'd like to welcome you to the Calgary Buddhist Temple for our Sunday, June 7th, 2020 service. Today's service is a Shotsuki service, which is a monthly memorial service where we pay our respects to and honor the memory of those people whose date of death falls in the month of June. To begin, I'd like to start with a few moments of meditation. So I'd ask you to get comfortable where you are. And when you're in a comfortable position, start to breathe in and out. 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And on your last breath out, close your eyes or just have your eyes slightly open. And start to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. The meditation will start with the sound of the bell, and when we hear the sound of the bell for the second time, we will open our eyes and join our hands together in Gassho. Bring your awareness to your feet. Notice if you have any tension in this area. And relax your feet as you breathe out. Bring your awareness to your legs. Notice if you have any tension in this area. And relax your legs as you breathe out. Bring your awareness to your hips and hip area. Notice if you have any tension in this area, and relax your hips and hip area as you breathe out. Bring your awareness to your arms and hands. Notice if you have any tension in this area, and relax your arms and hands as you breathe out. Bring your awareness to your abdomen, your chest, and your back. Notice if you have any tension in this area. And relax your abdomen, your chest, and your back as you breathe out. Bring your awareness to your shoulders, your neck, and your head. Notice if you have any tension in this area. And relax your shoulders, your neck, and your head as you breathe out. Bring your awareness to your forehead, your eyes, around your eyes, your jaw, and your tongue. Notice if you have any tension in this area. And relax your forehead, your eyes, around your eyes, your jaw, and your tongue as you breathe out. The mind of faith is the mind of sincerity. It is a deep mind, a mind that is sincerely glad to be led to the Buddha's pure land by his power. Therefore, Buddha gives a power to faith that leads people to the Pure Land, a power that purifies them, a power that protects them from self-delusion. Even if they have faith only for a moment, when they hear the Buddha's name praised all over the world, they will be led to his Pure Land. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. We'll start with the chanting of Vandana Tisarana. Now we will have the reading of Taking Refuge in the Three Treasures. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. Dwelling in the refuge of Buddha, I clearly see the path of light and beauty in the world. Dwelling in the refuge of Dharma, I learn to open many doors on the path of transformation. Dwelling in the refuge of Sangha, shining light that supports me, keeping my practice free of obstruction. Taking refuge in the Buddha in myself, I aspire to help all people recognize their own awakened nature, realizing the mind of love. Taking refuge in the Dharma in myself, I aspire to help all people fully master the ways of practice and walk together on the path of liberation. Taking refuge in the Sangha in myself, I aspire to help all people build fourfold communities to embrace all beings and support their transformation. And now we will have the chanting of Sambujo. I'd like to read the English translation, if we could, please. We respectfully welcome Amida Buddha to our temple as we scatter flowers of joy. We respectfully welcome Shakyamuni Buddha to our temple as we scatter flowers of joy. We respectfully welcome the Buddhas of all times and places to our temple as we scatter flowers of joy. Today, the members of the Calgary Buddhist Temple have reverently come before Amida Buddha to observe the Shotsuki memorial service for the month of June. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha, we repeat the sacred name. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Nama. As we are gathered together today, let gratitude fill our hearts and minds as we remember our loved ones who have passed away. The names for the Shotsuki Hoyo for the month of June are Shizu Nagai, Misao Teshima, Takao Teshima, Michael Gubenco, And now let us chant Shoshinge. 勉強満なく修行、信行十字人に難中止難昔、インド祭天使論下中華自治生きしこそ現代諸国聖書意妙如来本勢をき釈迦如来両が千一種五妙難天寺宇宙大自主と性質の財派無権先絶大乗無情報召喚議事小安ら賢治難行六六修行異行指導ら億年未打仏本願自念即自入必上唯の上昇如来語法大偶然天神菩薩増論説奇妙無下公如来永衆たら見真実五千王朝大聖願こういう本願力栄光移動群上昇維新記入独大崩壊越逆入大永収集特使連下造世界即昇信用法精進有望の臨現人図入生寺恩寺を下恩師論乱両天使上皇乱小菩薩来三蔵ルシ十条教本上宣行気楽法天神菩薩論中下報道因果見世願方言猫ゆたり少女心有心人惑前本部新人ポーズ承知承知即涅槃意志無量光明道小衆上回復系同社継承道南省唯妙浄土活入安全自力変言宗円満特語感染症三不三神経音語増末法滅道品異生増悪地偶然死安用外生妙感全道六妙部所意公愛上三
Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amidas, Namo Amidas, Namo Amidas, Nama, 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 Nama.
Well, good morning. Thank you very much for joining me today in our Shotsuki monthly memorial service for those whose date of death falls in the month of June. And I'd also like to thank you very much for all of you who have supported us during this time of closure due to the pandemic. We appreciate more than you can know all the support that you provide for us and the generous donations that still come into the temple in support of Jodo Shinshu in Calgary. So thank you very much for all of your support. Some words of reflection this morning. Buddha nature is called the state of regarding each being as one's only child. Because through the conditions of the state of regarding each being as one's only child, the Bodhisattva has realized the mind of equality concerning all sentient beings. All sentient beings will without fail ultimately attain the state of regarding each being as one's only child. Therefore it is taught, all sentient beings are possessed of Buddha nature. The state of regarding each being as one's only child is none other than Buddha nature. Buddha nature is Tathagata. This is cited from the collected works of Shinran Shonin. Last week, I spoke about the Sangha treasure and how the Sangha means a harmonious community. And from its beginnings, the generosity shared between the monks and the lay people was intended to bring harmony and balance to the social order of those who gathered and followed the Buddha. I would like to continue talking about community today, and this time focusing on equality. Community and equality are concerns that are on everyone's mind, and especially for those who are oppressed in society. When a life is taken because of an act of oppression, it is a tragedy and a failure to recognize and to respect one's right to life. It is with deep remorse to hear of the senseless death of Mr. George Floyd from Minneapolis, Minnesota, who died at the age of 46 years on May 25th, 2020. Mr. George Floyd was being detained by police and died after having a knee pressed into his neck for almost 9 minutes. His death has brought outrage to his community, and what we are witnessing is another call to end racism and brutality. Protests and demonstrations have been held throughout the United States in response to his senseless death, and the plea to take action against racism and brutality has also expanded internationally. What we are experiencing in the world today is the lack of harmony and equality that exists among us. And unfortunately, this is not something new, but a systemic problem that has existed before the time of the Buddha. Shakyamuni Buddha's life symbolizes the potential that humans have for enlightenment. As we learn about and follow the Buddha and the truth in his teachings, we start to develop a heart and mind that thinks not only of ourselves, but of the well-being of others. After his attainments of enlightenment, the Buddha became a teacher and a role model for all those who were seeking an understanding on how to end dukkha in this life and aspire for enlightenment. The Buddha himself did not conform to the caste system that was in place during his lifetime, and his teaching was that of equality for humanity. He looked upon everyone across the caste system as being equal. And because of his sense of equality, he did not turn away followers who wanted to join the Sangha of monks. He had the wisdom to see the Buddha nature in all beings and that each life is interconnected. Now I'd like to cite from Mr. Dhammasari's book on the fundamentals of Buddhist ethics, which says that further to the Buddha's arguments against racism and caste differences in support of equality, the Buddha argues on biological grounds that
unlike the case of plant and animal kingdoms, where differences of species are noticeable, mankind is one species. And the emphasis is not on what a person is born with, but what they do with themselves. Since a person, irrespective of their physical constitution and psychological nature at birth, can, given the opportunity and effort, change for better or worse. It is not only mankind, but all sentient beings, down to the very lowest, who are potential Buddhas, in that a Buddha nature is present within them. And it goes on to say, if for only this reason, no one has the right to despise a fellow creature, since all are subject to the same laws of existence and have ultimately the same nature and the same potentialities, though they are in varying stages of growth or development, and their rates of growth may differ from time to time. Looking at ourselves biologically, we are the same. Looking at ourselves, knowing the marks of existence, everything is impermanent and changing. Impermanence leads to suffering, and life is interdependent. We are the same. Having the view that all sentient beings have Buddha nature in them, we are the same. Knowing that we all rely on the same basic needs to exist, we are the same. Yet we can easily forget that we are the same, and self-centered thinking begins to view others as different. We begin to form categories of likes and dislikes in our minds that are revealed in our speech and actions. From the words of Temple Grandin, who was seen as different and struggled through life to fit in, she reminds us that we are different but not less. Meaning that we are different, and at the same time, we all share so much in common, but the key element to understand is that we are not less than anyone else. We are equal. The Buddha teaches that what is most important is life itself. We are asked to reflect on the meaning of our own life and how we appreciate being treated with love and respect and gentleness. When we realize that others value life as much as we do, and they share the same basic needs as we do, then we are able to think, speak, and act from a place of equality towards others with the wisdom that all lives matter. Shinran is another example of a role model of equality. During his time, to be able to study Buddhism was only available to the privileged, but after descending Mount Hiei and becoming a student of Master Honen, he lived the life of the Nembutsu. He became aware of his limited self and continued teaching what he learned from Master Honen. That Buddhism is accessible to everyone through the compassion of Amida's vow, which is to save all sentient beings. Shinran preached to everyone regardless of differences because he saw himself no different from others. He was incapable of enlightenment based on his own power of determination, and the gate of Buddhahood was to be realized in Amida's vow. In the postscript of the Tani Show, we read about a discussion that Shinran had with other students. Shinran became involved in a debate with some fellow practicers. It happened in this way. Shinran remarked, "My Shinjin and the masters are one. Seikanbo, Nembutsubo, and others among his fellow practitioners strongly argued, how can your Shinjin be the same as Master Honin's? Shinran responded, the Master possesses vast wisdom and learning, so I would be mistaken if I claimed to be the same in those respects. But in Shinjin, that is the cause of birth, there is no difference whatsoever. The Master's Shinjin and mine are one and the same. The others remained skeptical, however, asking how could that be? So finally they all decided that the argument should be brought before Honin to determine which side was right. When they presented the details of the matter, Master Honin said, my Shinjin has been given by Amida. So has that of Shinran. Therefore, they are one and the same. This discussion shows us how Shinran was humble and honest with others. He understood the difference between the wisdom of learning of people, at the same time understood the oneness, that we are all embraced equally through the working of Amida's vow, which does not discriminate and accepts us as we are. We come before the altar of Amida Buddha with our palms together and our heads bowed in appreciation and gratitude for the compassion and wisdom that guides our life through the darkness of ignorance. We are saying thank you as we recite Namo Amida Butsu, for accepting me as I am, for being embraced by the light of the Dharma which guides me in accepting others regardless of differences. The Nembutsu teaching asks us to be grateful for the life that we have been given, to recognize that each and every life is meaningful, and to respect the life of another as you would your own. There is no room for allowing hatred and racism to grow in our communities, and we must be responsible for controlling our thoughts, because our life is shaped by our thoughts. I would like to conclude by listening to the words of the Golden Chain, and for us to consider what the words are saying as we think about hatred, racism, and equality. This is the Golden Chain of Love. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only on my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Thank you very much for joining me and listening to my Dharma talk today. Please join in Gasho as we think about those whose lives have been taken due to racism and hatred and oppression, and for the memory of those people who we're remembering whose date of death falls in the month of June. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. 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 I wish you a great day, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.